Hello again. Second part to our study in the book of the 23rd Psalm. So excited to be with you today. Thank you for joining me. Psalm 23 is only 6 verses long, 6 simple verses that most people who know the Bible can recite from memory. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Uh, I don't know about you, but those are beautiful and comforting words to me. But here's what I've missed so many times. So many times. Right in the middle of this psalm, something dramatic happens, something shifts. The entire grammar of this psalm changes. Changes. In the original Hebrew text, that change is the key to understanding not just the psalm, but the journey that David took. In verses 1 through 3, David speaks about God in the third person. He, the Lord, is my shepherd. He makes me lie down. He leads me. He restores my soul. David's describing God, talking about God, observing God from a certain distance. Notice there's a gap, a space between David and the shepherd he's describing. In the first half of the psalm, David knows God exists. He knows he exists. Yeah, he knows God is good. He knows God provides. He knows God leads. God restores. But he's speaking about someone he's watching from a distance, someone he's aware of. Like I might describe someone I know, and I talk about them and stories about them. But then comes verse 4, and everything changes. He says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Ooh, right there, right at that point, the grammar shifts. He says, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Not he. The first 3 verses, it was he. But now it's you. You, your rod, your staff, they comfort me. Suddenly, David isn't talking about God anymore. He's talking to God. The gap closes. For the next 3 verses, everything is you. You prepare a table before me. You anoint my head with oil. And this shift, this transformation from third person to second person, from knowing about God to knowing Him intimately, it changes everything. How many of us have spent years, maybe our entire lives, knowing about God? We know the Bible stories. We know God is powerful. We know God created the universe and everything in it. He parted the Red Sea. He can do mighty miracles. We've heard the testimonies. We've seen the evidence. We believe intellectually God does exist. He's good. He loves people. And we talk about Him in the third person so often. God is great. God is good. God is faithful. God provides. But if we're really honest, there's still a gap between our theology and knowing about God and our actually lived out experience of with God. We know God is a good shepherd. Never convinced me other than that. I know God is great. I know. He leads me. He guides me. But I'm not always sure about these things. I know He restores my soul. But sometimes our souls are broken and we wonder, where is God in our pain? You ever felt that way? I have. Maybe right now standing in the exact place David stood when the grammar shifted, known about God, how good God is, how God is bringing us to a place. And that's what he's doing right now. He brings us to a place. Studying this passage, I absolutely know that what this transition looks like. I've been there. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't comfortable to me. It's not what I would choose if someone gave me options. The transition point, though, the place where knowing about God becomes knowing Him intimately, the hinge upon which this entire song turns is right here in verse 4. The valley of the shadow of death. Mm. I believe David wrote this psalm to tell us the truth about how our transformation really happens. You see, we'll never move from the third person, faith, to the second person, intimacy, without walking through the valley. Never. Not because God is cruel. No, no, no. Not because he enjoys watching us suffer. Not at all. But as my pastor, whom I sit under now, once said, valleys do something that mountaintops never can. Wow. When everything is going well, when life is the green pastures and still waters, it's easy to know about God. We can admire him from a distance. We can acknowledge his goodness while still fundamentally we rely on ourselves, on our own strength, on our own wisdom, on our own ability to make things work. Yeah, been there, done that. But when we enter the valley, when the shadow of death starts closing in, whether that's actual death or maybe the death of a dream, the death of a relationship, suddenly knowing about God is not enough anymore. It's in the valley that we can't observe God from a safe distance. No, can't do it. In the valley, we need him. Not information about him, not theology, not other people's testimonies. We need him personally, intimately, right there beside us, or we're not going to make it through. We won't make it through without him. I have to leave us here. And the next time I see you, we will get into what this thing leads us to, the shadow of in the valley, terrible experiences, but God. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and his face shine upon you.